What is going on, guys? Noah here with Custom RC Mods. Back out of the park. You can see we're at a baseball diamond. This one's a little bit different than the last baseball diamond. We actually have a road right on the end of the outfield there, so I got to be careful. But tonight we have the FT Simple Scout, and as you can see, I've already burned a few batteries on this thing, just trying to get comfortable. Obviously, it is the largest plane that I've ever flown in this small of an area, just a little small softball field. So I got comfortable with it, and I'm really excited to share this thing and how it flies with you guys, especially on this nice clay surface right here, where obviously we can land and take off, do touch and goes and all that stuff, and really utilize landing gear, which is something I've never been able to do when flying on the grass over at the field. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get this Scout up in the air. All right, so let's just, for the fun of it, go ahead and taxi over to the other end of the baseball diamond, more towards like home plate. Just use our rudder, and it actually works pretty effectively. And now we're gonna take off. You can see it did not need any of that, but you know, it's always fun to be able to taxi around when you have the option to. So yeah, we're up in the air, guys, with the FT Simple Scout. You can see I'm just doing a left-handed pattern. That's what I'm most comfortable with, and ultimately there's not really much room for anything else. You can see I might be able to do a little figure eight here, but nothing really much else. So we're just gonna kind of keep it to a left hand, like counterclockwise circular pattern. Obviously I don't want to extend my flying too far out in the outfield, because if I have a fail-safe scenario, I might end up in the road, or there's a walking path right there, and I definitely don't want to hurt anybody. So yeah, but we're just flying around here, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, this is just such an easy plane to fly, nice and smooth. I definitely recommend it for all beginners looking to get into the hobby. This is what actually I started with, and I'll preach it over and over on my channel that this plane is the way to go if you're looking to get into scratch building and foam board and things like that. So yeah, if you want to know more about that, please comment down below, and I will talk you guys through how you can get into the hobby with this plane. You guys saw right there, that was kind of sketchy, but yeah, I kind of got more focused on what I was trying to say and structuring my words than actually flying the airplane. But yeah, as you can see, I mean, at like half or 3/4 throttle here, this thing takes up most of the baseball diamond doing lazy circles. So there's not really much room for anything else, but you can slow this thing down a good amount. I actually have flaps on this thing, so you can see, let's just do some slower circles. Using a lot of rudder in my mix here. Not quite as fun to me, but gotta kind of fight against that. The tip stall tendency when flying at slower speeds with flaps on this plane by, you know, countering it with a little bit of aileron. So I'm doing about half a throw rudder and about a third throw of my opposite aileron. So I'm in this case left and then right aileron. But it flies great, even with my landing flaps on, doing these tighter circles. Usually in just aviation in general, it's a good rule of thumb not to make any turns with your flaps on, and that's why you know, whenever a plane has to do a go around, especially in general aviation, lift the flaps and throttle out of it. So yeah, these RC planes are a little bit more tolerant to that, but it's just something to kind of keep in mind on this plane. So let's go ahead and do a full speed landing, no flaps at all. You can see it can be done, but we're gonna go ahead, let's do it right here. And I decided to do a touch and go because this thing has a very long rollout, and that's just going to make it roll right into the grass. And I really don't want to go chase my plane down after it's nosed over into the grass after running out of clay there. So here's a better angle. And see, that's kind of to be expected there. Just keeps rolling and rolling, and I can give it as much rudder as I really want it to, and it's still not going to slow down or turn the way I want it to. Alright, we're back up in the air. Let's try to do a little landing coming towards me and see if we might be able to stop it. Actually, this one's not going to need to be stopped. Always a good idea to leave some back pressure. You can see my landing gear is kind of squatting there, and that's because this landing gear is old. Looks like we just nosed it over. Gotta hold full up elevator when taxiing on the ground, just to keep that rear tail skid planted in the ground and give you the best kind of a landing performance and taxiing performance that you need. All right, so had to adjust the battery there, and looks like we got about 1:30 left on this timer here. You can almost do a little mini knife edge there. Obviously this is more of a trainer plane, but you can see I've got some pretty good rates on it. And if you guys watch any of my FT Scout videos in the past, you know that this is a fun plane. I mean, just because you can throw it around with high rates as an advanced pilot and still have a good time with it. Try to get a wing over. Surprisingly good amount of rudder authority on this airplane, even though the rudder is considerably small compared to like the Simple Cub and other kind of trainer planes of this size. But it might just have to be kind of the placement of the rudder, the distance from the prop. I don't know. I'm no airplane engineer. I just kind of build and fly and speculate. But nice coordinated turns is really all you need to get this Scout moving the way you want it. I mean, honestly, it flies just fine bank and yank as well, which is nice, and that's one thing that the FT Simple Cub could not do. It's just overly very, very smooth, and overall, it's a nice, enjoyable flying experience. So, let's see. All right, so we're back up in the air here. Looks like we've got about 30 seconds left on the timer. So yeah, let's go ahead and give this thing a little bit of a landing so I don't drain my battery too much. We're just kind of punching it out, and let's go ahead and land it. Oh, what a turn there, folks. I barely missed that fence. So yeah, that's it for this plane tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Had a great time flying out here at the softball field, I guess. It was a good time. Hopefully I'll be able to bring more planes like this, maybe even bigger ones, out here sometime soon. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.